The message came at 7:46 p.m. Can't make it tonight. Something came up. No explanation. No apology. No heart emoji like she used to. Just 12 sterile words that felt like a blade pressed softly against my chest. I stared at the text until the letters blurred, the phone trembling in my hand. It was the 6th time this month. The 6th time Emma had cancelled dinner, always with some vague excuse. Work, her mother, headache. And every time I told myself not to overthink it. But tonight something inside me cracked. The restaurant reservation was for 8. I'd already changed my shirt twice. Dark blue first, then the black one she said made my eyes look serious. I'd even ironed it, which I never did. I wanted tonight to feel normal again. Familiar. But the text killed that hope in an instant. I typed back, "Everything okay?" No reply. Just the tiny delivered mark mocking me. That silence, heavier than shouting. I walked to the window. Outside, the city glowed with indifferent light. Neon reflections sliding down wet asphalt, cars hissing through drizzle. Somewhere out there she was living another life. I just didn't know whose life it was anymore. By 8:20 I was sitting in my car, parked a few blocks from her apartment. The rational part of my mind screamed at me to stop. To go home. To trust her. But trust isn't a light switch. It's a rope, and mine was fraying strand by strand. The building's lobby was dim, the kind of dim that hides dust and loneliness. I watched the elevator numbers flicker behind the glass door. She lived on the 3rd floor. At 8:37, a dark sedan pulled up across the street. A man stepped out, tall, wearing a charcoal coat. He checked his phone, pocketed it, then buzzed her apartment. Seconds later the door clicked open. No hesitation. No waiting. He walked in. I sat frozen, knuckles white around the steering wheel. 1,000 thoughts collided in my head, each louder than the next. Could be a friend, coworker, someone from the building. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't be that guy. But my gut had already decided. I waited 20 minutes. 30. The lights in her window stayed on. I told myself I'd leave at 9. Then 9:30. Then 10. When I finally got out of the car, the rain had turned into a fine mist, coating everything in a ghostly sheen. I crossed the street, each step feeling like trespass. My pulse thudded in my ears as I entered the building and climbed the stairs. Outside her door I hesitated. Apartment 3B. The light leaked through the small gap at the bottom, flickering like candlelight. I heard faint music, something slow, jazzy. A sound that didn't belong to lies, but to intimacy. I knocked. Once. Silence. Then the soft shuffle of feet. The door opened slightly, chain still latched. Her face appeared in the gap, eyes widening, color draining. "Liam," she whispered. "What are you doing here? Can we talk?" My voice came out rough like gravel. She hesitated. "It's late." Who's here with you?" Her pupils flickered, barely but enough. She glanced behind her. No one. That single word sounded practiced. "Emma." I leaned closer. "Please don't lie to me." Her hand trembled against the door. I could see her wedding ring glinting under the warm apartment light. The sight of it made me sick. After a long pause she closed the door. I heard the chain slide free, then the door opened wider. "Come in," she said, her tone resigned. The living room smelled like red wine and vanilla candles. The kind she used to light when we watched movies on Fridays. But now everything felt staged. Sterile. A half-empty bottle sat on the counter, 2 glasses beside it. "Who's the second glass for?" "Yes." Her lips parted, then pressed shut again. She exhaled slowly, like someone rehearsing calm. "It's not what it looks like." That sentence, those 6 words, were gasoline on the fire. "Then what is it, Emma? Because from here, it looks exactly like what it is." Before she could answer, a sound came from the hallway. Soft thud. Like a shoe bumping the wall. My chest went cold. A man appeared at the end of the hall, shirt half-buttoned, face pale. The same one from the car. He froze when he saw me. Emma's voice cracked. Liam, please. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I just stared at them, the two people I thought I knew, standing in a room that used to be ours. It's strange. The quiet moments after betrayal. You expect rage, chaos, screaming. But instead there's this stillness. Like the air has been drained out of the world. The man stepped forward, hands raised slightly. Look, I didn't know she was. Stop, I said. My voice was barely a whisper. Don't. Stop. Emma started crying, her tears streaking down her cheeks. Liam, I didn't mean for this to happen. It just did. 6 times, I said. 6 times you cancelled on me this month. How long, Emma? She covered her mouth, sobbing. A few months. Something inside me broke quietly, like a string snapping deep in the dark. I looked around the room, the photographs, the blankets, the soft couch where we used to fall asleep. Everything suddenly felt foreign, like I'd stepped into someone else's life. I don't remember leaving. Only the cold night air biting my face. I walked until my legs ached, until I reached the park by the river. The same place we'd had our first kiss under the old bridge lights. The river moved slow tonight, dragging moonlight across its surface. I sat on the bench, watching the water swallow reflections. I kept seeing her face when she opened that door. Half fear, half guilt. Not shock, not surprise. Because on some level, she already knew this night would come. Pulled out my phone. Her message still sat there, glowing faintly. Can't make it tonight. Something came up. Something. When. Typed one last message. You don't have to explain anymore. And then, for the first time in months, I turned the phone off. Weeks passed before she reached out again. Letter, not a text. She wrote that she didn't love him either. That she was lonely. That she felt invisible. That my silence hurt her long before her betrayal did. I read it twice. Then again. And I realized something cruel. Betrayal doesn't start with another person. It starts with silence, neglect, small distances that widen over time until love becomes habit and presence becomes absence. We both failed. But hers was the kind of failure you can never take back. I folded the letter and placed it in a drawer, next to the ring I no longer wore. Some nights I still hear her voice when the rain hits the window. Soft, apologetic, unfinished. But then I remember that moment in her doorway. And I remind myself, some truths don't need closure. They just need to be survived.